This is Caesar 4.30.2 Rebellion. Now before we start this, I want to point out we've got an infinitive here and infinitive here, and they're kind of hanging out there because this is not the beginning of the sentence. We really have to go back to 4.30.1 where it says here they believed that the best thing to do was, and I had said, whoa, hang on there. Let's see what the best thing to do was. And the best thing to do is going to be infinitives. All right? And here they are. The best thing to do was to prevent or stop or prohibit and to prolong. All right? And those are coming back, referring back, as always, to the first part of the sentence. Best thing to do was to block our men from food and provisions. These are ablatives, and this expresses separation. There's an ablative of separation, and there's no preposition in front of these. It's just ablative. And that's frequently seen with nostros. With prohibere, nostros is accusative, though. That's the direct object. A little bit tricky there, but yeah, ablative of separation. This little guy is an ablative absolute. We see Caesar start his sentences very often with an ablative absolute. And here's your PPP from Fio. This is a vocab word, fieri factus sum. It's this weird passive of facio, which really comes to mean once the rebellion happened. You really don't want to say the rebellion having been formed or made. Once the rebellion happened, once there was a rebellion, the best thing to do, they thought, was to block our men from food and grain, and there's a little divider there because this is infinitive number 1, this is infinitive number 2, and to prolong the business into winter. There's that weird word that means just about anything. The big enchilada is one possible translation. Be creative there. Because they were confident. All right, so this is a big cut here. They were confident, way down here, that, okay, this is one of those bubble, right? What were they confident? I don't know, but it's something in the infinitive, I can tell you that, because that's the way this works. Verb infinitive, subject accusative. All right, transitorum. Now, you got to add esse here. Sorry about that. But for some reason, the Romans are always dropping the esse off of this. This should be transitorum esse. This then is the future active infinitive. There it is right there. All right. The subject of the infinitive is always going to be accusative. Subject accusative up there. Nobody. They thought nobody would cross into Britain. Ablative absolute here. You can see how useful that construction is for the Romans. Once these guys were beaten, conquered, overcome, or once these guys were closed off, and another ablative of separation here. Yeah, working with this PPP. Once those guys were closed off from their return home. All right, these two both working together, modifying eis. All right, so one of two outcomes here. Either they kill all the Romans, or they keep them from returning home for the winter, which will kill off many of them and make the rest miserable. If that happened, nobody would cross into Britain, they believed, for the sake of waging war. There it is. Gerundive, that's a beauty. Gerundive plus causa. This is almost like a preposition coming to the right of the thing it modifies. This is genitive, right? Of war to be carried on. Nice little idiom there. And the gerundive is stand in for the future passive participle. Okay, that's their thinking. That if they beat the Romans here and now, the island of Britannia would be safe from all future invasions. And honestly, they were pretty close to being right. Think about your history.